and hopefully all discussions pointing in the right direction. Jeff Fisher hoping to have his Los Angeles Rams pointing in the right direction. 4 years as coach in the St. Louis Rams, took over a rough situation, made it better, yet to get over the hump to have a winning record. Of course, he's a Super Bowl coach a while back with the Tennessee Titans, losing, oddly enough, on the 1-yard line to the St. Louis Rams. We are ready to kick. And Bradley Pinion, who was the punter, a draft pick a year ago, number 5, will kick off for the Niners. And we are about set to go with Michael Thomas, 13, Benny Cunningham, 23. It's Cunningham at 9 yards deep. He'll go nowhere. And Case Keenum, who was 3-2 as a starter late last year for Fisher and the St. Louis Rams, of his starting quarterbacks in St. Louis, 6 in the previous few years. Keenum is the only one with a winning record. So it's him and not Jared Goff, who was not active tonight. He's the 3rd quarterback and in street clothes. It is Case Keenum backed up by Sean Mannion. So Keenum, 5th-year quarterback from Abilene, Texas. The call signals, and we expect a big dose of number 30, Todd Gurley. We are underway here at Levi's. And Gurley off right tackle, you see, for about 3 yards, and he's stacked up by a host of Niners. Gerald Hodges, one of them. So the Rams offense looks this way. We've shown you Keenum and Gurley. Tavon Austin will get the ball all over. And Kenny Britt, leading receiver last year. Kendricks, Harkey, tight ends. Robinson, Saffold, Barnes, Jamon Brown, and Havenstein. A little bit of a question. Goodyear as a rookie last year. He's in there to start at right tackle. 2nd and 6, Los Angeles. Their own 24. Keenum to throw it out in the flat. And the Niners have that pretty well snuffed out. The rookie Tyler Higbee catches it for 2. Niner defense, if they look like a basketball team up front, we'll explain. Eric Armstead is huge. Mike Purcell, Quentin Dial up front. Ahmad Brooks, Navarro Bowman, Ray Armstrong, Eli Harold linebackers. Brock and Ward are corners. The veteran Bethea is a strong safety. And Eric Reed starts at free safety. So here you go. Benny Cunningham back there now. On a 3rd and 4 at the 31. And the pass is complete to Britt. And it's going to be a Los Angeles Rams. I'm still getting used to saying that again, Steve. First down.
And you know what? This is really about Case Keenum getting into a rhythm. He talked about yesterday, I want to be the point guard. I want to distribute the football. The Rams passing game last year was very horizontal. It didn't get deep into the secondary. And so it's just nice to get a flow going, get the ball in and out. And as the point guard, quickly getting to his receivers.
Slot right, Gurley on a first down for the Rams. Keenum shotgun, firing, complete. So he will use the tight ends. That's Lance Kendricks, 6th-year man from Wisconsin. 9-yard pickup, so it's 2nd and 1.
Think about this offense, Boomer. It's Tavon Austin trying to figure out a way to get him the ball in space, and Todd Gurley. The 3rd piece of the puzzle, if they can develop it, is the tight end getting Kenny Britt, getting that passing game into the secondary. I'm telling you, they just don't do a great job of it. They're a nice one against zone.
Keenum. He'll keep it to fake to Gurley, and that's going to be a first down for the Rams. So Case Keenum has him moving. That's a 6-yard pickup into San Francisco territory.
You know, I expect this more on the other side of the ball with Blaine Gabbert. But Case Keenum is an athletic guy, and they're going to, it's opening day, they're going to come up with all kinds of wrinkles that you haven't, obviously, no film, and they can take advantage of that. Case Keenum did a nice job on the pickup.
So the ball on the San Francisco 46. Gurley. A good 5-6 yards behind Keenum. The fake to Gurley, throwing, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Gurley. So that a little play action. And so You know what Todd Gurley said in talking to him? He goes, you know my goal is this year? I think, what is it, 2,000 yards? He goes, no, to catch a touchdown pass.
And absolutely, I asked him this year, would you rather catch? He caught 21 last year, and he loves the idea of catching the ball on the backfield. There, he gets that suck up from the linebackers, slips through, bad throw by Case Keenum, and that's why Case Keenum needs to be accurate. If the Rams going to go anywhere this year, he needs to fundamentally be very, very efficient. 60+% completion. That one was not well thrown.
And at the bottom of your screen is Gurley, but they go to the other side, in and out of the hands of Tavon Austin. And that's one of the classic throws behind the line of scrimmage to get Austin in space. There was no space.
Very interesting with Tavon Austin. They're going to do all kinds of things with formation, with motion, trying to figure out a way to get him the football. They love to do it behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage, and then put him in a position that it's like a punt return. Now he's in space and can make some plays. But if you're going to do it, you got to catch it.
So Cunningham is in now because all of a sudden after the Rams were moving it to 3rd and 10. Play clock running down. Did he get it off? Keenum back to pass. Incomplete. Good heat that time by San Francisco youngster Ronald Blair, 5th-round pick, Appalachian State. And so a good-looking drive all of a sudden stalls at midfield, and we'll have a punt. Maybe with Johnny Hekker, and they fake it more, the Rams do, with Hekker than any other team.
Well, Jim O'Neill, defensive coordinator for the 49ers, came in and said, look, we played too much zone last year. We're going to bring the heat. They did that time. Case Keenum had to throw it away.
Jeremy Curley is deep, and that's a long, short punt handled by Curley. And it'll be the 49ers ball at about the 18. One-time New York Jet. They just picked him up as he's let loose of Indianapolis. Blaine Gabbert leads the Niners on the field offensively for the first drive. Niners, 70 years. Began in the old A. Let's see. 1946, came over to the NFL in 1950, and it's been San Francisco against Los Angeles from 1950 to 1994, and now we begin again in 2016. Blaine Gabbert, number 2, is the quarterback, and the Rams are ready for Carlos Hyde. So Blaine Gabbert, who started late last year, taking over from Kaepernick under coach Jim Tomsula, once upon a time the 10th overall pick in the draft from Jacksonville in 2011. Career starting record not so good, and that ball's bounced. We saw 8 and 27, and that ball is bounced intended for Torrey Smith. Here's the lineup for the 49ers, who are kind of barren in a couple of places, maybe on the outside. Hyde will be the workhorse. Quinton Patton, Torrey Smith, Jeremy Curley, wideouts. Vance McDonald, the tight end. Staley, the old warhorse, 74, 10th year. Beatles, coming over from Jacksonville, Kilgore. And we saw Tiller, the big fella, Trent Brown. Rams jumping. That front four is off. 3rd and 9, Gabbert. Running, he can do it. Slides for a first down. He has better motion, better speed than we remember, right, Steve?
You know what? He's one of the better, he's like top 5 athletes at playing the position. He's going to run the football a number of times, I think, out of the huddle. Here he does, takes a nice look, takes the aggressive stance, and then goes for the first down.
Gabbert on the fake give to Hyde. It's a couple of yards, and again, we should remember that Chip Kelly is the head coach. So no huddle doesn't mean that everything is going to be unbelievably breakneck speed, but no huddle means quicker pace than most.
Tough for defenses to handle the 11th guy out of the huddle, which is the quarterback. I just mentioned I expect Blaine Gabbert to run the football at least a half a dozen times tonight.
Gabbert throwing, and a tough catch made in traffic by Quinton Patton, number 11. Cody Sensabaugh all over him for a 5-yard pickup.
Bread and butter in this offense, and inside leverage, it's tough to get the slant in there, and I think that's what Blaine's got to do, is not just go to the first read if it's not there.
3rd and 2, you figure to run by Hyde. They didn't. It's short of a first down. A little toss to Patton. Goes for no gain.
Nowhere. These two offenses, both the Rams and the 49ers, finished dead last or second to last, both the two of them in third down conversion. I mean, if we get some third down conversion, we should do the wave, Boomer, because I tell you, both of these teams on a 3rd and short, why would you throw it not getting to the sticks?
So what are you telling me, that we might have Clayton Kershaw against Madison Bumgarner tonight? Is that what you're telling me? So Bradley Pinion will punt, and the always dangerous Tavon Austin to return. Austin signaling fair catch, and he backs all the way up to about a 6 or 7, which is interesting to say the least.
That's the dream right there, 10 yards of free space for Tavon Austin. I don't know why you'd fair catch that.
54-yard punt. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Bay Area, Levi Stadium. Chris Berman, Steve Young, Lindsey Zarniak, and our Monday Night Crew, extended Monday Night Crew.
First drive, Todd Gurley touches the ball one time out of 8. Obviously, this drive, they've got to get him going.
Hey, look, he didn't start to the end of September, and he ended up the 3rd leading rusher in the National Football League with 1,106 yards. If he didn't get the ball a couple of times here, I'll be flabbergasted. And here's the start. But guess what? The Niners know where it was going also.
You know, Todd told me yesterday, I love a fullback in front of me. He's not going to see it a lot in this offense, but really, if you think about it, he's going to be a guy that's going to love to be out of the eye back. And when he sees it, I think he's got to, he's 60% of his runs last year ended 3 yards or less. If he's going to be a great back, he's also got to find those couple of extra yards as he spins and turns to make a 2-yard run, a 4-yard run. That's one of the things he needs to work on.
Did you see on the replay? Navarro Bowman was right in there. He is the
What was the
police.
song?
I'm telling you, he'll be watching you. It's 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. And as we said, he's going to get it again. And then again, San Francisco, you don't have to be a genius to figure out that's what they're going to do in the shadow of their own goalpost.
A lot more.
Eric Reed coming up to make the
Yes, a lot more pressure. Eric Reed said, I want to be in the mix. Jim O'Neill says, we don't want to play catch on defense like we did last year. We want to be aggressive. We want to stop the run and knock the quarterback down. So look for that aggression around the line of scrimmage to go to negative plays. That's what we're looking for, make more negative plays.
3 wideouts as quick as in the game. Cunningham is the back on obvious passing situations. 3rd and 8, Los Angeles. Keenum to throw. No, he's not. 49ers snow him under at the 3-yard line. Ahmad Brooks, 55, leading the charge, and they were ready. Once Austin made the miscue on the fair catch, here came the Niners.
And this is a piece of the puzzle as the 49ers try to kind of retrench and try to get back to championship form. Yeah, they got a long way to go, but it's that pressure defense, that pass rush. Now, Aaron Brooks is out for the first 4 weeks. If they can kind of keep the heat up right here, look what they can do in the future when he comes back.
Johnny Hecker had an unbelievable season last year, and that's a really good punt. Jeremy Curley fielding in his own 41, and good coverage by the Rams. On a long punt like that, out of your end zone to cover, outstanding special teams by the punter, 54 yards, and the coverage team. Chase Reynolds on the stop for the Rams. Niners ball when we come back. Midway through the first quarter, Rams nothing, Niners nothing. 49ers second possession in good position at their own 48. So these two teams in the NFC West, knowing that they're looking up at last year's division winners, the Arizona Cardinals, perennial contenders, Super Bowl champ a couple of years ago, the Seattle Seahawks. Which of these two teams will make a move first? Gabbert fakes to Hyde, and a quick pitch to Jeremy Curley, number 17. And Tremaine Johnson making the tackle. That Rams front wall, which you alluded to in the beginning. Hayes, Donald, Brockers, and Quinn, they're awesome. Ogletree, Barron, linebackers, and Johnson, Joyner, TJ McDonald, Maurice Alexander, Cody Sensabaugh in the secondary. Gabbert firing down the middle, but overthrown. Oh, and he had Jeremy Curley down the hash marks.
Jeremy Curley's uniform, his numbers haven't even dried on his jersey. Showed up last Tuesday, but a great slot receiver back with the Jets in Detroit. Comes in and look, he's open for a touchdown. All I got to do is drop it in with a little more finesse. Blaine Gabbert tries to drive it.
So it's 3rd and 4. Gabbert shotgun. Runs and gets the first down. Not designed that way, but you know what? 49er offensive line against this Rams front. Much that we've heard, the line is much improved. On that play, it gave him time.
Blaine Gabbert stares down the left side. He is a great athlete, and that's what they need. They need those accretive plays every down. They don't have the 3rd and long capability to convert. And so 1st and 2nd down, get into a short yardage situation. 3rd down, Blaine Gabbert can go get that with his leg.
Gabbert, the quick pitch to Hyde, bumps it outside. And then several Rams, including LaMarcus Joyner first, throw him down, almost lateral.
You know, these are some of the toughest passes in football. And Blaine has struggled in the preseason. A number of them were behind or flat and didn't hit the ground. Nice spot to give him Carlos Hyde running forward. And Carlos Hyde, I mean, if he can stay healthy. Last year, Boomer, he had injuries. If he can stay healthy, that's one of the big pieces for the 49ers getting back to respectability.
Fakes the inside handoff to Hyde. Then he's going to take it himself. There's room up the middle for a first down, and he's slammed down. But Gabbert, his running has seemed to, thus far, befuddle the Rams. That's an 11-yard pickup and a Niner first down.
I like Blaine Gabbert, aggressive. A lot of times last year he held the ball, dropped it off.
Bill Vinovich is our official.
Holding. Defense number 20. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
LaMarcus Joyner flag. They won't take it. So the Niners in business now at the 26 for Chip Kelly.
First and 10 at the Rams 26-yard line.
Kelly looking over the menu.
That's a premature tackle there. And Gabbert really, you can see it. He has great visibility. Coaches tell me he sees everything. It's not a lack of visibility, but it's a lack of aggression. And that's why I like him. Take a look. If it's not there, now you go make it happen. He's an athlete.
4 carries, 30 yards, Gabbert. He'll give it to Hyde. He powers up the middle, about 5 yards. So Carlos Hyde, the workhorse. Aaron Donald, if you powered up the middle against Aaron Donald and company, you and your line have done a very good job. Again, no huddle. Now the Niners shifting with Hyde all the way at the top of your screen. Split to the left. Oh, in and out of the hands of Garrett Selleck of the football-playing Sellecks. Of course, Brett Selleck was tight end for Chip Kelly's Eagles. And now he has brother Garrett Selleck to throw to. He couldn't hold on.
Converted strong safety. Mark Barron last year took the weak side linebacker spot and has flourished. Great coverage.
Gabbert to throw. Sean drawn in the flat. A shifty move and inside the 10 for the Niners first down.
And one thing about this fast-paced offense, it forces defenses to kind of be a little disorganized. And if you're smart, it's the little flat route that's wide open. It's the little check down that's wide open, and you can make great profits if you just be able to scan the whole field. Nice job by Blaine Gabbert.
So John, who made the reception for a first down, is to the left, Gabbert. And he'll go nowhere in a hurry. LaMarcus Joyner kind of swooping around from the back. They all track the ball. So here comes Hyde in for drawn. Again, it doesn't mean they're breakneck speed. They just don't huddle.
Actually, in many ways, you can kind of pace the whole game. You can wait right there till the clock goes down to 10 or 9. So it's a la Peyton Manning. And I like the idea of being at the line of scrimmage, what's the defense do? Force the handle, and then take the time.
This is Hyde into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. Garrett Selleck among those with the block, kind of a stutter and a second move by Hyde.
You talk about elite backs, what he can do. It looked like he might stop outside, waited, took the opening, and exploded into the end zone.
So a 10-play, 52-yard drive for the Niners, which began almost at the midfield stripe, as we said, after a pretty good punt by Hecker, but out of his end zone. And the 49ers have scored first. Phil Dawson to try the extra point. Pinion with the hold. It's good. And San Francisco has taken a lead over Los Angeles 7-0. Carlos Hyde inside blocking and plenty of room up the middle. Nothing the Rams can do about it. The Niners have the lead. So the San Francisco 49ers all set up, Steve, because of the fair catch on his own 6 by Tavon Austin.
Inexplicable, with the best punt returner, one of the best punt returners in football, with 10 yards in front of him, pins his team back inside the 20, and they never get back out. And now the field position changes, and in a tight ball game with these two offenses, field position is going to be big.
Benny Cunningham brings it out of the end zone on the Pinion kickoff. And of course you gamble and you try to get to the 25. He didn't quite do that. And so Marcus Cromartie among those on the tackle. So the Rams begin down 7-0 on their own 21-yard line.
Yesterday, Eric Reed said that, what he expects from the Rams is exotic run game. By exotic meaning all kinds of strange formations, motions, and we just haven't seen that. It's been pretty vanilla from the Rams so far in the first quarter.
Well, not so vanilla right now. Everybody at the bottom of your screen, even Austin goes nuts, and he'll take kind of a little flare pass. But with everybody split left, there are a lot of defenders over there. It's hard for him to squirt through, right, Steve?
Yeah, but they're hopeful. Just get the ball in space and he can create. He averaged only 9 yards a catch last year because he caught them all at the line of scrimmage. It was all yak. Look at this. That's an amazing graphic. Of all the passes, 52 passes he caught, look at them. Most within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Picked up maybe 3 yards. Bethea on the tackle. Again, they're all to the left of Keenum. Now, Tavon Austin in motion. And they give us the big guy, Gurley. And so far, the San Francisco 49ers, that's Mike Purcell, one of the interior linemen making the tackle. They are ready for Gurley thus far.
Navarro Bowman shoots the gap, destroys the blocking scheme, and then Ahmad Brooks cleans it up.
4 carries for Gurley, 1,100 yards last year. 4 carries for 9 thus far this year. Keenum to throw, and boy, coverage just too good, and it was short of the first down anyway. Tremaine Brock was all over the rookie Tyler Higbee. Last year in this game, I know we're only in the first quarter, but Adrian Peterson went nowhere. The 49er defense stopped him to beat the Vikings 20-3. Thus far, they're ready for a heavy dose of Gurley. Thus far, they've answered.
And they have not gotten it right. But the tremendous leverage inside by Tremaine Brock on Higbee didn't allow him to kind of position, and essentially Case Keenum threw it inside, and there was no chance for the completion.
Here go the Rams with all sorts of shifting. With Johnny Hecker punting. You never know what that means. It's a lower kick, but Jeremy Curley, yes, late calls for a fair catch, and smartly so, because Cody Davis was bearing down on him, so a 50-yard punt with no return. Last year, Hecker had one of the best seasons that a punter ever could have, leading the league in gross, net, and inside the 20. Niners ball. Monday night doubleheader this evening, of course. Week 2 Monday Night Football, the 1-0 Eagles, rookie quarterback Carson Wentz, taking on Jay Cutler and the Bears for their home opener at Soldier Field. Monday Night Football, Eagles-Bears, 8:15 Eastern. We begin with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. And there is a big completion by Gabbard to Torrey Smith. Smith sliding, but you remember Smith from the Baltimore Ravens, who certainly can go long. That's their deep threat. That's a 15-yard pickup. Niners moving again. They lead 7-0. Here with a minute and a half less than that now here in the first quarter. Carlos Hyde slammed, fights his way for maybe a yard. T.J. McDonald, who, Dad, was your teammate.
Yes,
Timmy McDonald.
Tim McDonald, one of the great players of all time, one of the great leaders. Last year we lost our general manager and owner, transitioned out, and we used to go up to the general manager's chair, Carmen policy, where he kind of left the team, and we used to act like we were the general manager. Tim and I ran the team. We figured out which trades we were going to make.
It's very scary. This is Carlos Hyde, who can be scary himself. Shifting into Rams territory, down at about the 43-yard line before Alec Ogletree can stop him. Pickup of 18 by Hyde.
Carlos Hyde, a great inside runner. One step, go. And then once he gets free, he can break it. He can turn an 8-yard run into a 28-yard run. He's the kind of guy that if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's been the big issue out of Ohio State. If he can remain healthy, he can be an elite back.
Andrew Tiller, number 61, starting at right guard. He is the Niner being tended to. I'm going to tell you, a lot of it's Hyde, but when you don't hear us call Rocker, Donald, Quinn, Hayes, Ogletree making tackles downfield, we're going to give some kudos thus far to the offensive line, Steve.
And not only that, but Greg Williams is one of the guys that wants to come in. They told us we're going to have 5 defensive linemen. We're going to have 3 safeties. We're going to be all over with multiple formations from defensive look. And it has felt very vanilla in the first quarter, which was not what I expected. I expected a lot more. Maybe it's the pace. Maybe that's what Chip Kelly does to you. You talk a big game, and then in the end, you end up playing vanilla defense because of the pace.
First and 10, the 49ers. Sean Drawn running and still powering for about 5, maybe 6 before Cam Thomas makes the stop. The 49ers look like they have a handle on what they're doing. It's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 San Francisco. So the Chip Kelly era is underway in San Francisco. 1 quarter, 70 yards rushing for the Niners. What do you see overall, Steve?
Yeah, Chip Kelly told us he loves to play poker with cards up. His speed and the pace, force, you can see what I'm doing, but I can see what you're doing well. He thinks that's an advantage, especially in the running game. And you're seeing that here in the first and now into the second quarter.
2nd and 4, Sean Drawn is in, and he won't go very far. Alec Ogletree is the middle linebacker this year, one of the many #1 picks starting in that front 7 for the St. Louis Rams. Names like Chris Long, middle linebacker James Laurinaitis, leading tackler in franchise history. Nick Fairley, Janoris Jenkins, Rodney McLeod in the secondary. They're gone. Ogletree in the front have been there. Ogletree's moved to the middle, but some new parts for the Rams. Gabbard evades 1, evades 2, and dives. Not quite, but a really good effort to try to pick up the first down. William Hayes finally knocked him out, but he escaped the rush.
I don't know that people knew how good of an athlete Blaine Gabbert is. He's got tremendous speed. He gets a chance out here to get to the 3rd down. I like his effort. And now 4th and 1.
Here's Poker, 4th and 1, and the throw is low outside. It was... So it's complete, but it doesn't matter. To Torrey Smith, it's incomplete anyway. It wouldn't make any difference. It was just... Do you think they went too fast?
No. If you're going to go fast, you've got to be able to process, and that not just process mentally, but process physically. Quick throw, get your feet under you, deliver the ball. It would have been a nice completion and maybe gone for some yards, but you've got to get it out and in place where somebody can do something with the football, especially on 4th down.
Chip Kelly talking to him this week. No huddle. We'll vary our tempo, but we'll try not to go so fast that we don't know what we're doing.
He knew what he was doing. He just didn't get his body in position to deliver the football.
And now Case Keenum hopes to know what he's doing. Across the middle to Kenny Britt. It's a big pickup down to the San Francisco 43.
So away from Tavon Austin at the line of scrimmage, away from Todd Gurley pounding in there. This is the part of the game that the Rams have got to have if they're going to go very far this season. And Kenny Britt averaged 19 yards a catch last year, crossing route. And that's the kind of Case Keenum, he broke records in the NCAA completions, yards. I mean, the guy can deal. Gets him protection and put somebody out there mid-range, and he can do something with it.
There's a 22-yard pickup, and now first down to give to the left side is Gurley. But again, the 49ers are swarming and are all over a host of Niners. Eli Harold among those on the tackle. And Navarro Bowman getting them organized. He's just an old-school middle linebacker, isn't he, Steve?
You know, and I don't think the Rams don't want to just line up in base offense and run the football. I do like the exotic formations. I do like them trying to throw Tavon Austin in ghost reverses. I think here they are again in base offense. That defense for the 49ers loves to just stand there ready to go.
The give is to Gurley. Evades one tackle. Now you see him turn the corner and move up toward the first down marker. Eric Armstead is involved on a 5-yard gain by Gurley. Armstead, #1 pick a year ago, Niners.
We asked Jeff Fisher, who does he remind you of, Todd Gurley? And it's like, there's no, he's everybody. Speed, power, inside. You saw that. There was a little, not a lot of room there, but on the outside run, he could turn the corner and be as fast as anybody in the league.
3rd and 3, Los Angeles trailing 7-0 here in the second quarter. Too much time.
Yeah, you do need to snap the ball on time, Boone.
That's a different sort of
delay game. Offense number 17.
Case Keenum told us, I'm going to be the kind of the field general. He didn't want to say game manager because that just has such a negative connotation. But if you're going to do 75% of the work as a quarterback in the NFL, it is managing the game, and one of the most fundamental pieces.
That's the first charge timeout.
So what that 5 yards does, though, is take a 3-yard run maybe by Gurley out for a first down. And maybe, if they don't pick this up, take him out of field goal range, although Zerline has a big boot. We'll be back. Now, it is 3rd and 3. About 20 seconds later, after they announced the penalty, they said, whoa, a do-over. They did call a timeout. Little late.
So my apologies to Case Keenum.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to burn a timeout there, though. But now they can give to Gurley for 3 yards. They would have a shot at a
This is what the Rams want, Boom. 3rd and short.
The pitch is to Gurley. But the 40, didn't quite get there. 49ers swarming to the ball. They knew where it was going. Ray Armstrong among those on the hit. And let's see the 49ers in the pursuit. Look, 50 Bowman. I hate that he's at the bottom of everything, isn't he? So a 4th and 1, and they're going to go, even though Zerline has one of the longest legs in football. But they have Todd Gurley, and they have a first down. So the gamble pays off for Jeff Fisher. Inside running by Gurley.
This is an offensive line that is getting better. Both Robinson and Havenstein, both tackles, first-round draft choices the last couple of years. This is an offensive line that can move people.
And late flags. So we had a late timeout call, now late flags, and a discussion by the officials. Bill Vinovich is the referee.
After the play was over, taunting. Offense number 30. 15-yard penalty. Los Angeles gained the first down, so it'll be a 1st and 10 after the 15-yard penalty. This counts as the first unsportsmanlike penalty for number 30 with regard to disqualification. First down.
Let's take a look and you decide. Todd Gurley flag. Well,
The ball is moved back to the 45-yard line.
Look, it's, I mean, second year, maybe a little frustrated. Got chirping down to the bottom of the pile. The last thing that you should ever do is listen. I mean, you've got to be completely focused on your job. The idea that you let somebody get to you, obviously a rookie or second-year mistake.
so now the Rams back to the San Francisco 45, but they do get the first down. 1st and 10 there. Fake to Gurley, ball tipped and picked off by San Francisco. Boy, the 49er defense is all over it. And who do you think got it? The police. Navarro Bowman, he is just all over.
You know, maybe the 49ers listened to this whole preseason hype about the front seven of the Rams and said, hey, look, fellas, we got 4 rushers that can bring the heat as well, and they have throughout this game. And you see with Quentin Dial with the tip.
49ers defense puts them in business up 7-0. We're back here at Levi Stadium, and they are reviewing the bobble at the end of the interception by Navarro Bowman, and maybe it hit the ground, or maybe, we'll show it to you, it got between his teammates' knees and never hit the ground. Here it is. So
Pretty sure that he doesn't maintain control. You can see the ball come out. Whether it hits the ground right there, the point of the ball, does it hit the ground right there or not, will be the deciding moment in this interception. Again, he doesn't have control to the ground. It comes out. Do you think it hits the ground? That's the question right there.
I mean, as bizarre as it is, let's look again. Steve, I think it doesn't ever hit the ground, and it ends up
the tip of the ball.
No.
Yeah, I think you're right. It'd be
Might
tough
be
to overturn
between his hands started the interception, his knees ended it, I think.
I think it does not look like the ball hit the ground.
Long-time referee.
Stands.
Yep. So good hands, good knees, and turnover.
Took all of his body. The reconstructed knee.
Jim Diapolos is working with us here, longtime official. We looked at it together, and you agreed, never did hit the ground, as odd as it seems. So interception Bowman. Jeff's not thrilled, but it's the 49ers ball at their own 41. Hyde. All right, they are not wrapping him up on first contact at all, Steve.
But it's the lateral step. This is when I talk about the possibility of Carlos Hyde being an elite back, look at the lateral step. No hole, one big move wide, and now gets clear for a nice gain.
Gabbert throwing. Good play made by the Rams. Mark Barron, the one-time top draft pick as safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years ago, now as a linebacker, almost like the old monster back position, right, Steve?
Blaine Gabbert puts it in a great spot, but Mark Barron, I mean, playing weak side linebacker, this strong safety to weak side linebacker, I think is going to catch fire in the NFL, especially with the pass-happy offenses.
Now Hyde had it in his hands and dropped it. Mark Barron on the coverage there, but that was just a drop.
Chip Kelly's offense, the speed, the pace, it demands execution. It demands doing there'll be wide open people, but everybody's got to do their job. We've seen that on the 4th down and now here with the drop of Carlos Hyde.
Third and 10, San Francisco. Gabbert throwing on the slant. Curley with the catch, but is it enough to try a long-distance field goal? T.J. McDonald on the tackle. Curley, a good slot receiver for a couple of years with the New York Jets. Yeah, be a 57-yarder, why not, right? You agree?
Yeah.
With the move?
Chip didn't blink at all. He's like, I got the 4th down play right here.
Gabbert is timed, and he finds Curley for a first down, San Francisco at the 21. 18-yard throw and catch from Blaine Gabbert.
An 18-yard game.
All of the 49er fans were going, "What? Who's 17? We didn't see it." Oh, he just showed up last Tuesday. Veteran receiver did a nice catch.
Inside give is to Hyde. He bounces out. And now a host of Rams are there. Moreeeee Alexander, the strong safety, makes the pop. Lindsay Czarniak, hello.
Hey there, Boom. Yeah, the teammates certainly excited there about Curly, but it was funny because Chip, to Steve's point when we were talking to him, said they're so pumped about watching him. Not the biggest guy, but a really smart football player. He predicted he's going to have a really big impact tonight, Boom.
So far he has, Lindsay, thank you. Sean Drawn, the running back, in there. And the give is to him, and he finds some yards. So this interior of the Rams thus far has not made a stand.
All we heard about was best front seven in the league. How many positive yards you're going to get running inside to Aaron Donald. And you can see people getting hung up inside. And Sean Drawn doing a great job of just finding a little lane and falling forward for a nice gain.
Gabbert to throw. No, he's not. Gabbert to run. Flag. Spins down to the 6-yard line. We'll have to wait to see. A 9-yard pickup for the moment. He's giving plays time to develop.
Yes, he
it's
is.
not a scared run, right, Steve?
One of the things that they said about Blaine Gabbert is that he does see the field well, but he doesn't let it go. And so he's not aggressive enough. But I do love the idea that if you're not going to, if there's somebody not open, I still have my legs. But
Defense number 20. Passing little goal. Automatic first down.
So it's against the Rams. With the Niners.
The key is to exhaust the play from the pocket. And he did that. And once you do that, it does open up lanes, and Blaine's taking advantage of it.
So the hold on Lamarcus Joyner, the third-year corner from Florida State, second-round pick. Once upon a time in the Niners. First and goal. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Sean Drawn. So on a night when we were going to start talking about Todd Gurley, running back from Tarboro, North Carolina, it's another running back from Tarboro, North Carolina, Sean Drawn, that gets a touchdown. 13-0 San Francisco.
Nice block by Quentin Patton to allow the touchdown, but you saw the double team of Vance McDonald did a great job of sealing the edge and allowing Sean Drawn with the speed to get outside and score.
Phil Dawson to try the extra point. The punter Pinion will hold. And it's up and good. A good snap by Kyle Nelson. And here it is, Steve. Running left, which would be Joe Staley's side. And San Francisco with a 14-0 lead. San Francisco 49ers running on the quarterback and some power football. They lead the Rams 14-0.
When a quarterback can get that, that extra yardage, the defense does a nice job. We covered it, and then he can go make a big first down. It sends a message to the defense. You got the answer for no matter what. And I think that's why all of a sudden the run gets opened up, and it frees up and puts space for everybody else in the field to go make something happen.
Kick by Pinion, and the Rams will elect the touchback.
So the key for Blaine Gabbert is look at his eyes. Left, middle, pump, and then now that he's exhausted the play, offensive line give a great protection. He's now free to go out and make a big first down. And I like that. The little guys can hit you. You're fine. That's no big deal out in space. And I think it frees up everything else in the offense when somebody exhausts the play and then goes. That's the key.
So the Rams take over at the 25, 41 yards rushing by Gabbert. There's Tavon Austin in the end around, but again, Navarro, Bowman, and the 49ers are there. Short yardage picked up. Bowman, Brooks, Brock, the killer bees.
Certainly the 49ers talked about it yesterday. Look, we're ready for all of these exotic runs to try to get Tavon Austin the ball. In the end, we always get the football behind the line of scrimmage and allows linebackers free run. Navarro Bowman told me those front three hold two shirts so that I can freely run. That's the key to the 49ers defense.
Keenum to throw. Kenny Britt on the reception toward the midfield stripe. So a good pickup by Los Angeles before Antoine Bethea can knock him down. A 22-yard pickup. Keenum to Britt.
Nice patience from Case Keenum, waiting, get through the second level, and then Kenny Britt, who averaged, again, 19 yards a catch last year. That's a key thing for the Rams to try to get moving in that intermediate zone.
Early in the eye behind Keenum. Will get it. Barrels forward for 4 or 5. Eric Reed out of the secondary to make the tackle.
5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 at the 49ers 46-yard line.
For the Rams, trailing 14-0 here with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Trying to get something going on their own. At the San Francisco 46. Longer count, but the give is to Gurley. And he is stacked up in the middle by Quentin Dial. Player really coming on, 4th-year man out of Alabama. Saturday noon college football, 9 a.m. Pacific ABC, ACC class, top 10 teams and star quarterbacks. 2nd-ranked Florida State Seminoles, number 10 Louisville. College football presented by Walmart, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Rams 1 of 5 thus far on 3rd down. Need to pick one up here on a 3rd and 5. Nice defensive play made by Jimmy Ward. The 1st-round pick in 2014 for the Niners out of Northern Illinois. And again, the Niners have held on 3rd down, and Johnny Hecker's going to punt it.
49ers, 11 eyes on Case Keenum, ready to break on the football. Did a nice job.
Hecker to punt for the 4th time this evening. Jeremy Curley is back. Hecker with a high kick. That's exactly what you want to do because it was either going to angle out or be fair catch by Curley. 36-yard punt, but that's not the story. But there is a flag. And he did exactly what he's supposed to do, pin the Niners. He is good.
There's no foul for holding on the play as a 2nd defender knocked him to the ground. Timeout.
First game for everybody, I guess. Certainly including us. 14-0 San Francisco.
Talked about Aaron Donald being the 2nd best defender in the league. They've really been handled by the offensive line of the 49ers. Talk about Trent Brown, Daniel Kilgore, and Andrew Tiller replacing Anthony Davis this week. He really has not been a factor, and really the ball's been coming out, and whenever there's a nice coverage, Blaine Gabbert's been able to get outside and run.
Niners beginning at their own 10 with 5:26 to go in the 2nd quarter. Good give to Carlos Hyde, and he busts it up past the 20. So a 11-yard pickup for Hyde. And it's another 1st down to the chagrin of Jeff Fisher.
And look at the 1 step. Boom. Sideways. Find the opening. And that's what Chip Kelly wants to do. Just get those a hat on a hat and let Carlos Hyde find a hole, which he will.
Fake to Hyde. Throw. Ooh. Almost picked off by LaMarcus Joyner.
But I like the aggression. I like come off the fake, let it rip. I mean, I obviously
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 99.
And unfortunately, we've just mentioned Aaron Donald.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
He wanted his name mentioned, and he figured out a way to do it. Unfortunately, the wrong way. Late and
aggressive.
Yeah.
Drove him to the ground.
You're gonna get 2 flags for that one.
So on an almost interception, instead, it's a penalty, and the Niners drive is now up to the 31. Under 5 minutes to go. San Francisco 14, Los Angeles nothing. Throw is in the flat. Hyde spins, but that time wrapped up nicely by Trumaine Johnson. Fifth round, the fifth-year veteran from Montana. Franchise tag this year by the Los Angeles Rams. The Niners have run for $118. Gurley and the Rams, 34. 15 first downs for San Francisco. The give is to Drone, who has one of the touchdowns, Hyde the other one. And it's a safe call of a 3-yard pickup. It gives him a 3rd and about 6. Aaron Donald a little annoyed at himself and going to take matters into his own hands.
I mean, this is a proud defense. I mean, they were dominant at times last year, and certainly today been handled.
3rd and 6, San Francisco at the 40. The throw is to Curley, makes a nice grab, almost at the midfield stripe, and that's a 49er first down. Boy, what a pickup they made. Trent Baalke, the GM, just about a week ago. Curley has been a big factor in this game.
As good as Bruce Ellington was, and he got hurt, they said that Jeremy Curley coming in with his veteran leadership and then out of the slot, and also with punt and kick returns, is a guy that can really get something done, just showing up last week.
Gabbert pumps, then dumps it to Drone. He stutter steps and picks up a first down. Although the ball may be in the possession of the Rams. Dominic Easley made a hit. Rams saying they have it. Trumaine Johnson. And the recovery and a scuffle on the field. Drone, who's been doing well, that is Dominic Easley, who made the punch out, just coming over from New England, was a #1 pick there. It didn't quite work there. It works on this play. And maybe the Rams in business with just over 3 to go here in the half. Chris Berman, Steve Young, Lindsey Zarniak back here at Levi's Stadium, and so far no good for the Los Angeles Rams. The team of Van Brocklin and Waterfield and Roman Gabriel and Eric Dickerson and some offensive punt, pick, punt. Not good. They know.
I mean, they were last in the league last year in 3rd down conversion, and they're on their way early in the season to be. They were 32nd. They could have been 50th last year, and with their 3rd down efficiency today, you can see that they haven't gotten a lot better right now.
Here's Gurley, evades 1 tackle. Just a little bit of a pickup, but the Niners have it snuffed out pretty well, don't they?
You know, even when he gets outside, it's the pursuit that forces everything to kind of take a dip so he can't get north and south. He just hasn't found any space, inside or outside, really, to run.
The 49ers were saying our offensive and defensive lines are better than they were. So far, we've certainly agreed. So do the Rams. 2nd and 8. 2:40 now to go in the first half. San Francisco leads 14-0. Keenum to throw. Short throw, and that'll look laborious, if you will. And Higbee couldn't come up with it. Ronald Blair with the hit on the QB, and they just are struggling.
I mean, Case Keenum takes a 3-step drop and cannot get people out of his face. I mean, he gets right up in him. Tyler Higbee makes a tough throw, but Tyler Higbee could have come up with it. But really, it's that inside pass rush into a 6'1" quarterback. It's very difficult to handle.
3rd and 8. Here come the Niners up the middle. Look out! Incomplete. Eric Reed among those coming up the middle. Bowman naturally was there. They sent 2 or 3 guys up the gap. Keenum had no shot. Another punt coming from Johnny Hecker.
Eric Reed said that Jim O'Neill, defensive coordinator, is going to let us play, not going to play zone, not going to have everybody playing catch on defense. We're going to come after people. And you can see the effect of that right there.
Hecker to punt to Curley again. Fair catch signaled. And about the 20-yard line. 39-yard punt. After we're done here at Levi's Stadium, stick around for SportsCenter at Night with SVP. Scott will have the highlights, complete breakdowns. Both of our games tonight in the NFL, all the baseball, NFL injury updates, everything else from the world of sports. SportsCenter at Night up next on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. And you got to tune in because if you don't get enough of Steve in this game, you're going to get him again on that show. That's called piling on. That's just a penalty, okay?
Just too much.
So the 49ers kind of power out this first half. An impressive show for Chip Kelly's San Francisco offense. And, of course, Hyde's going to get it. Now, this time the Rams are waiting for it. That delay didn't help him at all. Matter of fact, loses a little bit. Cody Sensabaugh makes the tackle. Got married in the offseason. He and his wife Dominique said no gifts. Please donate or give shoes to Souls for Souls. No honeymoon. Went to the Dominican Republic and handed out 17,000 pairs of shoes.
Amazing.
So there you go. Now that is a story that's worth knowing about. Way to go, Cody and Dominique. Made a big tackle there. 2-minute warning, 14-0 San Francisco. 14-0 here, San Francisco coming up at halftime. Counter Trey Wingo and the coach, Herm Edwards. Highlights of the Steelers' big win at Washington, 38-16. Second half preview and much more football. I'll keep you entertained at halftime. The 49ers try to keep it going. Their biggest lead in a game since the Monday night opener here last year against Minnesota. And here is Hyde. This is odd. I don't know what it means, Steve, but the 49ers have won 8 straight Monday night games, all of them by double digits. The Rams have lost 6 straight Monday night games. I don't know that that necessarily curls into tonight, but so far it does.
Well, we got to talk a lot about Chip Kelly's offense, and you know, this hurry up, you think puts more pressure on secondary. He thinks it puts more pressure on defensive linemen, and that's why the rushing stats are always so high. When he took over the Eagles, he took a middle-of-the-road rushing game and made it #1. You see the effects of it here in the first half.
Oh, and the ball sailed and was almost picked off by Joyner. Remember the timeout they had to call on almost a delay a game before?
Yes.
Clock was running there. That's where they may have used one. Just looking back, some mental errors by the Rams.
Jeff might want to get into halftime. Jeff Fisher, head coach, and say, look, we've been chippy, we've been undisciplined. I'm going to go in and scream at these guys, see if I can get them going.
Well, here's one guy that can get him going, Tavon Austin on the punt return. But it's a high, short kick by Pinion. Austin's going to try it, and he is just slammed down. Aaron Burbridge was there. Ray Armstrong in the vicinity. So a 40-yard punt, just a 4-yard return. What can they get going in a $7? Can Gurley have some magic? Because thus far the Niners have had his number. 11 carries for 28. Carlos Hyde, would he have 168? And Monday night last year, outperforming by miles Adrian Peterson. Thus far, that's been the story. Keenum. Screen. Gurley. Totally sniffed out by Ray Armstrong. Keenum began the game 3 for 3, Steve, then went 3 of 11 until that screen pass.
You get a sense from there's not a threat out there for any kind of passing game. And so what happens is defenses in the NFL just creep, and you don't get any air. And you can sense that on that screen.
40 seconds now. Keenum. And that is incomplete. The good coverage by Tremaine Brock on Brian Quick, the fifth-year receiver from Appalachian State. No shot there. Will the Niners get the ball again?
3rd and 15 at the 34.
Look out! Sacked. Ahmad Brooks in first, and then big Eric Armstead. 6'7", 292, one of several players on the front wall that Chip Kelly recruited, had him play for at Oregon, and now they're reunited again.
4th and 19 at the 29.
You get the sense with Case Keenum that when he goes back now, that his eyes drop. And then he starts to go, and now he has no place to run. And so obviously, if we just talked about this defense creeping, not respecting the threat of the Rams, and Case's eyes, when they drop, you know that you're in trouble.
That's Jared Goff in the civvies, if you will.
Jeff Fisher said he wanted Jared to come up and experience a game and feel Monday night and see what it's like and see the speed. Certainly, I think we'd all rather see him in uniform, but Jeff thought it was important for him to be on the sidelines, not dressed, not have to worry about playing, just take it all in. I don't know what he's taken in so far tonight.
2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. Trade for Goff. A low liner by Hacker, and it goes out of bounds, which actually helps the 49ers because they still got 16 seconds if they choose to do something. A 44-yard punt. So Goff, next week expected. They're home. That's the first home game they'll have in the LA Coliseum. He's expected to be number 2. And Sean Mannion will sit as the number 3. But Keenum, now let's see how this game goes. So he's elevated from 3 to 2 next week is the plan. Do you think they should just play him, Steve?
Yeah, Jeff Fisher seems, I mean, he's like, I'm oblivious to what people want me to do. He's settled that he's going to make sure that when Jared Goff gets on the field that he has a chance to be successful.
Well, this will be a kneel down. And 30 minutes in, so far, so good for Chip Kelly at the helm of the 49ers, and so far, not so good for the Rams returning to Los Angeles for the first time since 1994. At halftime, the 49ers 14, the Rams nothing. Now it's time for our Toyota halftime. We bring in counter Trey Wingo. Trey? Welcome back to the Bay Area. Pre-game scene and the huge flag and the playing of the national anthem. Blaine Gabbert, teammate Eric Reed on a knee. A couple of the other 49ers. The Rams pretty much all in lockstep on their side of the field. That was the playing of the anthem, but there was no booing. A lot of the Niners went over to him afterwards, but as they lead it 14-0 here, Steve Young, the play, Kaepernick has watched like everybody else, and the play of Blaine Gabbert, look, this isn't, the greatest show on turf or anything like that, making the Rams, but the play of Blaine Gabbert, his awareness, his understanding of what Chip Kelly has in mind for these 49ers has impressed you, hadn't it?
And look at the end of those runs when he held the ball. He exhausted the play, started to go, but at the end, there's the grittiness to it. That's the thing I thought Blaine, I mean, it's a big word, gritty. I don't know that it means a lot of things in quarterbacks, but he did a lot of things, and then at the end, kind of sent an exclamation point. I'm in this physically, emotionally, and mentally, and I think the 49ers are rallying around what Blaine Gabbert's doing.
That's Big Joe Staley. You want him right near you. His 10th year, number 74, #1 draft pick, kind of headlined that great offensive line that got him to the Super Bowl and got him to championship games. Then everybody left. And he is still there, a pillar of strength, and we'll talk about that line and what it's doing tonight. Meanwhile, the Rams, set to kick off, have made, a fair catch at their own 6, which led to giving the Niners good field position and a touchdown. A penalty on Gurley on sportsmanlike. Next play was a pick, and that'll be out of the end zone. Next play was a pick by Navarro Bowman, and so Rams not playing sharp mental football either.
Chippy and undisciplined. I mean, that's not what Jeff Fisher's teams are known for, and the Rams have got to kind of quiet themselves. But Blaine Gabbert, I mean, to me, I really love, look at, exhaust plays in the pocket, then go. And at the end, you don't need to slide. Go ahead, head first. These guys, you've got the space, you've got the athleticism, you can protect yourself. Look at this one. Okay, little guy can hit you, that's no problem. In the end, your teammates respond and rally.
So the give is to Carlos Hyde, and this time the Rams interior is certainly ready to go, and that's William Hayes. That front of Hayes, Donald Brockers, and Robert Quinn back off the injury last year. Hayes, the veteran of the group, his 9th year, 31 years of age. So the Niners in the first half did the running. 123 yards worth. That play went nowhere. The pitch outside to Quentin Patton, and that'll pick up about 6. Alec Ogletree is there on the tackle.
This offense is all about efficiency. Every play's got to be accretive. It's got to move the ball forward, so if you get to 3rd and short. Here we have that nice little reception. Now it's 3rd and 5, and that's what Chip Kelly loves.
Third and 4. Gabbert to throw, a little swing pass, knocked down back to him. Not the completion he had in mind. And T.J. McDonald is there, and the Rams defense coming out with fire as they need to, forcing a quick punt.
You got a sense that maybe Jeff Fisher had something to say at halftime?
Yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league, and we really had to play passively. T.J. McDonald, great athleticism. Blaine Gabbert, great athleticism. And then, I mean, the two of them, I did that once and almost scored a touchdown back in the day.
I remember. That wasn't going for 6. I got news for you. Pinion with a high punt. Tavon Austin will have room. Tries to turn the corner, but a smart tackle made by Jaquiski Tartt. On a punt over 5 seconds of hang time, 47-yard punt. Can Todd Gurley rev it up here in the second half? The Rams need to get something started, trailing 14-0.
Gurley has struggled in the first half. Navarro Bowman, the middle linebacker, said, we're very disciplined. Everyone plays their gap, and if everyone does and the quarterback doesn't carry it, we have 1 extra. There are many plays in this first half where the 49ers had 2 or 3 extra, and Todd Gurley had very little room to run. And in the second half, you've got to believe. Now, Todd Gurley, Boomer, historically last year, he was always better as the game went on, especially in the fourth quarter, so we'll watch for that.
Rams first possession of the second half. And here's Gurley. And he will pick up about 5 yards. Evaded DeForest Buckner. And then turned it into a 5-yard pickup. Gurley's 12th carry. I don't know that it's going to be a 30-carry game. He said, I was born to carry it 30 times. I was born ready for it. The Niners are born ready for him thus far. 2nd and 6. Gurley He is just snowed over by, you guessed it, Navarro Bowman. Took on the lineman, took on the back.
So when you bring the 8th man down in the box, and you are going to run it right into the teeth of it, it allows the extra linebacker now to be able to freely roam and find the ball. It's very difficult in the NFL to run against 8, and the Rams have got to show the ability to do something else when they bring that 8th man down in the box.
One of 8 on 3rd downs thus far are the Rams. That'll be 1 of 9.
You can't play horizontal offense in the NFL. You can't make every play to the sidelines. You've got to knife into the defense to threaten them, Boomer, and if you don't, you're going to be the worst in the league in 3rd down conversion, which they were last year, and it's got to improve for the Rams.
A little pitch to Brian Quick, went nowhere. Antoine Bethea had it snuffed out. Now we'll talk about Bowman as we go. No one except maybe him thought he would be that good last year, coming back from that gruesome knee injury in the championship game in Seattle a couple of years back. Curley, did he call fair catch? It's kind of an excuse. The whole play was kind of an excuse me punt return and tackle. 38-yard punt that Bradley Marquez on it. He said, did I call it? Although, if he did it, it was... Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. We'll be back. Monday Night Football next week in Chicago at Soldier Field. The Bears home opener. They'll see rookie quarterback Carson Wentz, number 2 overall pick, Philadelphia. Rookie coach Doug Peterson was a big win yesterday.
Old friend.
Monday Night Football. Eagles at Bears, 8:15 Eastern, Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Your first game, NFL coach, you win it. It's
with a rookie. You lose your starter like 2 days before. Hey, rookie, go play and win.
1 for 1. Ooh, ball is batted, and the Rams try to track it down. They almost. Maurice Alexander made the play. Defensively, they look perked up. Let's go down to Lindsey Zarniak, and I'm sure Jeff Fisher read him some sort of a riot act, didn't he?
Boom, I expect that you're right, yes, and I think that more of that type of play is what he wants to see from them. He came out of the locker room just shaking his head. The first thing he talked about was that 3rd down conversion situation they've got going on. He just said that can't happen, and also he said, look, they've got Carlos Hyde, they've got Blaine Gabbert. We have got to stop one of them.
All right, Lindsey, thank you. Yeah, he's probably scratching his head. Alec Ogletree making the stop there, putting a on Hyde. 3rd down and about 7. So big situation here for the Rams. They should have good field position if they can make the stop, Steve.
Yes, and the defense has come out of halftime and done their job. Obviously, the offense, if they can get this stop.
And the throw is behind Curley. Joyner right there, and so they get the stop. And maybe the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, can be in business. You know, we don't want to go on any farther without saying we feel for those folks in St. Louis who are watching with certainly mixed emotions. Your team leads, a team that presented a Super Bowl and had another Super Bowl team as well. And here's the punt by Pinion. Tavon Austin. And Austin tried to stutter step, but not going anywhere. But again, for you folks in St. Louis, we understand. There was over 2 decades of football. The team just kind of pulled out and left. You're not sure if you root for them or against, or do you like pro football?
Holding. Receiving team number 59. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
I mean, here's a nice stop by the defense. Going to get the ball back 30+. And now you're back at the 20-yard line, and you've done nothing offensively. If the Rams are going to get something going here, it's going to be Case Keenum's going to figure out a way to get into this defense. It's the only way. This horizontal game, both running and quick screens and passes, is not going to get the job done, especially down 14 points.
Just to finish it, so you folks in St. Louis, hope you're enjoying the game. A lot of these players played hard for you. And we get it. We lost our hockey team in Hartford, the Whalers, almost 20 years ago. I'm still annoyed. You know that's
And
true.
they still lead, they're still selling jerseys.
They're about 11th or 12th in jersey sales. They are. So we get it for those staying up late in St. Louis. The Los Angeles Rams. And there you had it. The defense gets a stop, and they another big mistake. Mental mistake. Just this is not what they had in mind.
No, and in fact, talking to the Rams yesterday, coming out of all the travel and all the places that they've been since January, the different training camps that they've been through. You know, you thought Jeff Fisher has worked this out, and these guys should be tired and distracted, but they're not. And they acted like a team that wasn't, but they've played tonight like a team that's distracted.
We'll chronicle that coming up. It is unbelievable, but the bottom line is, here's the game, and where are you? Where they are is on their own 17.5-yard line. The fake to Gurley. Throw downfield, and that's through the hands of Tavon Austin. A couple of Niners in the vicinity. They just don't seem to have many options now that Gurley's not going anywhere.
Nice protection, nice back shoulder throw from Case Keenum, and Tavon Austin's got to come down with the football.
He does.
I mean, especially down by 14. You're the go-to guy. Are you the guy that's going to make a difference for us? And you got to come down with the football.
Jimmy Ward right there on the cover. Keenum trying to get things set. Play clock running down. Just gets it off. A little pitch to Austin. And picks up a handful. Jimmy Ward is right on him.
All of that stuff to Tavon Austin is really just an extension of the run game. It's essentially a run. And if they could get efficient at it and do it a lot more, you can see 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10. It makes a big difference for the Rams. But this extension of the run game, they've got to be more creative and efficient about it. I mean, they just have not been able to complete the balls, make the runs, to make this defense feel threatened.
You saw the 3rd down numbers. 0 for the last 8, 1 of 9 in the whole game. 3rd and 5. Austin in little motion, trips to the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Knocked down beautifully by the 49ers, and he has been all over in this series. Jimmy Ward. Whiskey Tart on the come. They just don't have an answer, Steve.
I mean, it's old school, man, single safety. I mean, you should love this stuff. In and out on the receivers, and the backside corner drops off and makes the play.
The good news for the Rams, they have one of the best punters in the game, led in every category last year. Johnny Hecker. The bad news, this is his 8th punt, and we're only 6 minutes into the 3rd quarter. That's Curley. Chips. Gets a block. Can't evade the 3rd man. Chase Reynolds making the stop for the Rams on special teams. And the 49ers pitching a shutout on defense, leading 14-0. Take over again with good field position. Do you understand what's going on here? We're getting back here at the big bell bottom, and Case Keenum trying to figure it out. Looking at the boards, looking at the pictures, looking at the sky, looking at the moon.
Look, you don't need to look on a tablet to find out what's going on here. I mean, someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to protect. You know, it's basics. 101 football, and they just haven't played well.
49ers again with good field position. One thing about them, too, Hyde shifts directions, and now the Ram defense is starting to assert itself somewhat. Robert Quinn, haven't heard his name much tonight. Of course, had an injury last year. He is a sack master. Once upon a time at 19 sacks. This first-round pick, 6th-year man from North Carolina. 2-time Pro Bowler. Maybe not the pass. You got to watch out for him. Quick give to Hyde, and nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on that play. It's Cam Thomas involved. Dominic Easley giving some of the big names a break.
You know, they're going to start exchanging people in the first game. People are going to be tired. That's, you know, I always said that the month of September for the NFL is an extension of training camp because there's so little time with players and coaches and OTAs and training camp. So you expect some fatigue here on the first night.
Gabbert, the throw inside, and that's Curley, but he's almost going backwards. T.J. McDonald on the hit. You know, once upon a time it was all front four and maybe a fifth guy. One of the first to do it when he was defensive coordinator, then head coach, was Seifert, George Seifert. Have 6, 7, 8 guys right in the rotation with Bill Walsh, and then when George took over, right? A lot of teams weren't doing it. Now it's more the norm.
And now you get the depth, so you get that energy in the defensive line. You get energy in the defensive line consistently with about 6 or 7 guys you really can dominate.
Pinion with the punt. Fair catch called by Austin. The Rams will try it again at the 28. 38-yard punt, no return. 14-0 San Francisco. We'll be back. San Francisco 14, Los Angeles nothing. Midway through quarter number 3. 49er defense looks outstanding. The Rams offense, oh my goodness.
I thought they'd be better. I thought that they, you know, Havenstein and Robinson had a great training camp, famously on Hard Knocks. Looked like they all had a pretty good camp. Yesterday, speaking to them, looked like they had a lot of confidence. This has been really poor play today.
Gurley up the middle has some room. It's his longest run of the night. Almost a 10-yard run.
I think that doubled his total for the game today. And that's what you need, right? I mean, these are the drive starters, the spin move in traffic. You get a sense of the greatness of Todd Gurley.
One run, one 10-yard first down pickup. First down by either team in this half. And oh man, driven. As Austin caught it, Eric Reed just right in his face and right to the ground.
The dreaded horizontal pass game we've been talking about all night. Case Keenum trying to get visibility, puts the ball on Tavon nicely, but because the threat isn't there for anything behind Eric Reed, he can drive on Tavon Austin. What they're trying to do is get the ball in his hands, boom, have some space and make a guy miss. There's no chance.
Gurley, stutter step and not much.
Gurley, the ball carrier, tackled by
Antoine Bethea, the 11-year veteran safety, played in a Super Bowl champion team with the Colts. And now it's third down for the Rams. They try to speed it up a little bit just to try to get some sort of advantage on this Niner defense, which they've had none thus far. Keenum. A flag is down in the backfield, potentially a first down. Lance Kendricks, 6th-year tight end, makes the catch. We'll see.
Italy uses hands. Hands in the face. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Cody Wickman.
Boomer for the first time tonight. Blitz comes, gets picked up. Case Keenum eyes up. Nice route, delivers the ball. Hands to the face. It could be hands to the face / hold. It's okay either way. But I mean, you know, even when everybody does the right thing, somebody's still sputtering. It's like leaking oil in 6th gear instead of 2nd gear.
6th penalty for the Rams. You see it, none yet on the 49ers. A clean game in Chip Kelly's debut. And a screen to Benny Cunningham, but that's a lot to ask to pick up 18 on that play, and they did not.
The only thing that happened in that drive is it wasn't 3 and out, which they've done the last 3 or 4 times in a row. So, you know, but I mean, if they're going to threaten this game, I mean, you can't let, in the NFL, you can't let a game go by. It's 14-0. You got time, but you've got to put something together offensively, obviously.
Becker will punt it. Curley will single for a fair catch. And the head scratch for the veteran coach of the Los Angeles Rams, Jeff Fisher. His team trails 14-0 here in the third. So the big billboard says we're home for Los Angeles. They moved from St. Louis, and the offseason we're going to work out in Oxnard in the spring. Their training camp we're going to be in Orange County at Irvine. But then last week we're going to go to Thousand Oaks, where we're going to be temporary, and then Agora Hills, that's our office. The Coliseum is there, and then Inglewood is where we're going to play in 2019. Good thing there's no traffic involved getting between any of these places. The point is, they've never really had a home here. They've only been where they're training now at Thousand Oaks for about 8 days. Yeah. Not an excuse, just a fact. And we can add to that in a minute, as the Niners will look to chew clock, but the Rams will look to continue to play good defense.
You know, the second half, Aaron Donald said yesterday, we are going to be a swarming, fast, and physical defense. Since the break, that's exactly what you've gotten. This is a defense that led the league in negative plays last year. And now you can see the beginning of why that was in the second half.
I'm trying to bust through it. Some other notes on the Rams this year to continue their nomadic theme. They will fly the most miles, almost 36,000 miles this year. Okay? 5 of their first 7 games are on the road, with one of them being in London.
I wonder if that influenced the Jared Goff decision, being on the road so much in the first couple of months.
3rd and 8 for Gabbard, who'll throw it. And that is behind, maybe tipped a little bit, but a 3 and out. Aaron Donald certainly making his presence felt there. And just to finish, you know, 3 of their first 4 are on the road. They open up next week at home to Seattle. They're going to light the torch every week at home, like a 12th man thing in Seattle. That's a nice thing. But then at week 3 and week 4, they're on the road again. They got games at Tampa. They got games with the Jets. They're playing the Giants in London. They're at Detroit. They're hardly home. Tavon Austin received the punt. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Here he goes. So maybe that will spur on Los Angeles to a little juice on offense.
Eric Reed said, the safety for the 49ers, said, what about Tavon Austin on offense? He goes, well, I didn't really appreciate until I went to special teams meetings. And then I thought, oh my gosh, no wonder everybody talks about Tavon Austin. There you see all of the things that Tavon brings to the game, which they're trying to replicate in their offense, trying to get him in space and have it be like a punt return. That's why they keep trying to do these little slip screens, quick screens, reverses, and you haven't seen a ton of it tonight, but that's their offense really is trying to get it to Tavon Austin in a kind of replicated punt return scenario.
They've rarely been on this side of the field. 10 drives, 9 punts. Yikes. But here's a chance, trailing only 14-0. At the 38 of the 49ers. Gurley. That's a nice pickup of about 5 or 6. Mike Purcell in on the stop for San Francisco. Purcell, 3rd year out of Wyoming. Niner defense almost the end of 3 quarters allowed nada. Playing a lot of guys up front. And Bowman and Brooks, the veterans really of the Super Bowl. They're the last links on defense of the Super Bowl. Joe Staley and of course Kaepernick on the bench. Offense is not much left. It's only 4 years ago. 2nd down, Benny Cunningham. No sir. Bowman at the bottom of that tackle, along with Quentin Dial.
You know, Trent Baalke, the general manager of the 49ers, I mean, if he's around, you got to guarantee you that they're building defensive and offensive lines. Since that disintegration of a team a couple years ago, a Super Bowl team, immediately went to work to rebuild those defensive and offensive lines. You see the big draft picks from Oregon, the number 1s the last couple of years, and how they played tonight. They've won the line of scrimmage so far, and I think that's really the nucleus of what they want to try to do in the future, is have those dominating offensive and defensive lines.
A little confusion up front for a moment for the 49ers. Can Keenum take advantage? Throw is on the outside to Austin. It's a 1st down. Ward on the coverage, but there's a 1st down for the Rams at about the 27-yard line.
Training camp, run, 3rd and 5, nice throw, put it on the right shoulder. Tavon Austin has a nice route. I mean, that's the stuff you practice from day one, and that's kind of the first time we've seen it all put together.
Gurley the single setback. Rams trying to, if not march, walk. Here's Gurley. Niners had him snuffed out all the way. DeForest Buckner, their first-round draft pick, 6'7", 300 from Oregon. Ponahoe High School, where the president went to high school in Honolulu.
You know, for horizontal attacking offense, first down is vital because you're not a 3rd and 10, you know, kind of team, and so that, you know, there you get stretch out the play. You don't get the creative yards, and all of a sudden now 2nd and long. This now becomes an even more important down for the Rams.
Corner blitz. Keenum, and it's picked off by Ray Armstrong. So the blitz by Ward off the corner. Keenum seemingly had time, but he just threw it into the red shirt. And Armstrong, the 4th-year linebacker from Miami, makes the pick, and San Francisco is held to the chagrin of those Ram fans who are as befuddled as the head coach.
Plenty of time. Blitz from the right side. You can see where he needed to throw the ball inside. And Ray Armstrong just broke, had leverage. Case, I'm sure, wants that ball back. And it's one of those things, right when you let it go, literally the second it leaves your arm, you're like, oh, I'm the first one that knows. Oh no, that is not in the spot that I needed to go.
Just a minute and 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 14-0 San Francisco. Going nowhere on offense in this quarter, but lead by 2 touchdowns. Blaine Gabbert. Ooh, and that's almost picked off by the Rams. Alec Ogletree out there in space almost found a ball right in his face mask.
And now you're seeing the athleticism of this Ram defense. These are the 2 linebackers, Barron and Ogletree, can cover any tight end back in the league. And now this is the Ram defense that we talked about in the opener.
Inside give and not much to Carlos Hyde. 5 first-round picks in the front 7, if you will, front 6.
Well, we said in the opener, this is one of the best front 7s in the league. And obviously Jeff Fisher at halftime, but it's the athleticism, and Greg Williams wants to put him in a lot of different spaces and spots and formations and how they line up. And then they talk about 5 defensive linemen, 3 safeties, giving different looks to Blaine Gabbert. And you see, again, last quarter, it's paying dividend.
3rd and 8. Gabbert winds up to throw, and that is complete to Quentin Patton. And so a big throw. The Niners had -5 yards in the quarter going up until that play. A 13-yard pickup and a first down, which will get this game into the 4th quarter for them.
Pick up the blitz. Nice route. You can see him reroute the defender, wide open on the outside.
And so the Niners will operate at their own 38 when we come back to start the 4th quarter, leading the Rams 14-0. Chris Berman, Steve Young, Lindsey Zarniak here at Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, California, about an hour south of San Francisco, whose 49ers, as usual, certainly of late and really almost always, back in your day, before your day, Monday Night Football, have the upper hand. They lead the Los Angeles Rams 14-0. Starting the 4th quarter on their own 38. The fake, and Gabbert throws, and that's a nice throw and catch by Curley, who's really been impressive tonight. Again, he's only been a Niner for about, what, a week or 2 days?
Not even. I don't think he's been here a full week. Obviously understands the offense. How many guys? It says a lot about Chip Kelly's offense, that you can plug and play. Innovative offenses are easy to understand, and obviously Curley's been around a long time. I like Blaine Gabbert moving the pocket off of the play-action fake, being creative, and he's a guy that can he's very mobile. That's the way to keep the ball moving.
And a little misunderstanding there, so the Niners will take a timeout.
So on the flip side, you got Todd Gurley, who you saw that 10-yard run, finally did something. But here, look at this team defense. 2 guys kind of rerouting Todd Gurley. And then look, there's 10 guys and 11 guys in the picture. That's what every defensive coordinator does when they show the films. Like, let me see all 11 of you. DeForest Buckner, first-round draft pick this year from Oregon. Reroutes. 1, 2, 3 guys come to clean it up. And 4 more right behind him. Team defense has been the moniker tonight for the San Francisco 49ers.
Rams all over Gabbert. He's got to throw that one away. And back to the bottling up of Gurley. He has just not got on track. 17 for 47 and 1 10-yard run, but that's been it.
And really the offensive line has been overwhelmed. And we have Greg Robinson, a first-round draft pick, had a nice camp. We talked about Havenstein, played really well last week. Last year, they just haven't gelled so far.
Who jumped? If so, if it's the Niners, which we think it is.
The defense did not get into the neutral zone.
No.
False start. Offense on 61. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Their first penalty of the night. It took to the fourth quarter.
You know, that's the coach's dream. Come out of training camp, let's play really clean. First penalty into the fourth quarter tells you why they're up 14-0.
Second and 15, San Francisco. Blaine Gabbert throws, and that'll be interference. Holding up. Jermaine Johnson was battling with Torrey Smith. We haven't heard anything from him tonight because he's pretty much a long receiver.
This is when you want to see the film on holding, and then more holding, and then like a fourth hold. I mean, if they had 5 flags, they could have thrown it on that one.
Spot foul.
Sounds like an amusement park. So, however you move the chains, you move them.
That's bad. I mean, that's just not moving your feet. It's bad defense. Get in a situation where you have to do that.
Now we've looking back at the link to see if it's okay to snap it. There they go. That didn't fool anyone with Gabbert. And so, Steve Young, I will ask you this. You and Jim Kelly played in a game in which, at Candlestick, in which there were no punts. There are 14 points in this game, and there have been 15 punts. Your thoughts?
Is it possible you have more punts than points? I mean, it is possible with the way the Rams are going. They got 4 more in them in the 13 minutes probably.
Look, the Niners are in no... This is almost like a 4-corner offense.
That's the flexibility of Chip's offense. He was, we're going to go fast. No, we're going to get to the line of scrimmage
Dean
fast.
Smith would be happy with
Snap
this.
it with
really
1 on the clock.
Gabbert, complete to Curley, tries to shake the first Ram. Joyner makes the tackle. You're right. You get up at the line of scrimmage, look like you're disorganized, but you got all those seconds.
All that time.
And there's a flag, and everything is seemingly slowing down.
Well, it's it's the first game of the year. You expect some of this inefficiency.
Offense. All 11 players are not come set. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
They were standing around too long. They didn't know what to do. I mean, this is a hurry-up offense, kind of, sort of, and at least if they're not snapping the ball,
it's unnerving.
Yeah, look, what do you mean we stand here for 10 seconds to snap?
That's the longest I've stood around for 6 weeks of training camp.
Right.
The only time I stood that much is in the lunch line. I don't know how to handle it.
Slider in the shower, maybe. Second down again, it's Gabbert. Has his man. That'll be Patton. Patton fumbles it, but out of bounds. A big pickup, San Francisco, and they get a break there because the ball went free, but out.
Great route by Quentin Patton. Blaine Gabbert, classic in the pocket, looks inside, then back out. You can see the big hole. And then Quentin Patton with his speed to the outside almost takes it to the house.
Big play, San Francisco. They are trying to essentially put this thing away. So after an offense that went -5 yards for almost all of the third quarter, here they go. Although there he goes. Aaron Donald and company and William Hayes slam Hyde to the ground.
So this is really important film when they get tomorrow and watch red zone for the 49ers. They were not able, I mean, as far as red zone offense, they weren't down there very much last year, and so this is going to be vital. If they're going to make that big move from 5-11 to 8-8, 9-7, this is the place where it needs to happen all year long.
Gabbert to throw, it's dropped. Play wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. Torrey Smith in and out of his hands. Drone is on, Curley is on.
And it's also a challenge for Blaine Gabbert. Historically, he'll do the job, read the defense, but the truth in the NFL is nobody's open in the red zone. You have to create, you have to throw people open. And I think Blaine needs to be more artistic down here to find the opportunities. We'll see what he does right here on third down.
Gabbert looking. And it's a touchdown to Vance McDonald.
Vance McDonald, probably, I would say, for training camp, if you pick the most improved player for the 49ers throughout the 4 or 5 weeks of training camp, it's Vance McDonald. Look at the discipline for Blaine to wait. Great outside curl route by Vance McDonald in the hole. I mean, great protection. You can win a lot of games playing that kind of offense, Blaine.
So McDonald, the fourth-year tight end, second-round pick in 2013 from Rice out of Winnie, Texas. And the man from Winnie, Texas has put the 49ers real close to winning the game as Dawson will try the extra point. It's good. A 10-play, 77-yard drive. They did it. And the 49ers on Monday night, maybe they can appeal the scheduling committee and play all their games on Monday night because they never lose, and they always lead by double digits. 21-0. We'll be back. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by your local Lexus dealer in the pursuit of perfection. So far, perfection for Chip Kelly's 49ers. They lead 21-0.
You know, going back to that touchdown play, Chip told us that every play has an answer. Blitz, zone. If you read it through, every play I give Blaine Gabbert is going to have an answer. And if Blaine can just get through it and process it, we can be really good. And you can see that he found that spot in that zone that play had for that, for that defense.
Touchback, good kickoff again, Pinion. And here's your touchdown, Steve.
So if you think about all the options in the play, the one that he's looking for in zone is Vance McDonald. You see his eyes down, straight downfield, waits for Vance to break outside, puts it right on him. I mean, like I said, you can win a lot of games in the league being as efficient. Was it 70? What was the drive? 10 plays, 70?
Yep.
Chip Kelly, say what you want, boom. Shows up. This was an offense that was almost dead last in everything.
Certainly in points, 15 points a game.
And now all of a sudden show up in the first game and very dynamic.
So the Niners on this opening Monday night are. And there's a throw that's nowhere near Austin. So now look, Case Keenum, look, he's a guy looking for his chance. There'll be other games, and one game doesn't prove anything good, bad. Here, they're coming home.
There's Jared Goff. You know, the problem
now
with Boomer is they go back to L.A. L.A. is a very distracted. There's a lot of things to do, and you better be winning if you want people to pay attention. And if you're going to draft a kid like Jared Goff, #1, people in town are going to say, look, nothing against Case Keenum, but look what we've punted 15 times. I know it's only second game of the year, but why not? and that's going to be the talk.
Pass is complete to Kendricks. They just try to get things going. Now the Rams will try to hurry up and down 21-0. You would hope so. 49er defense has had the answers. They look prepared. They stared Todd Gurley down and it's thus far negated him. We know the Rams don't have much on the outside.
Man, single safety. I mean, this is old school. You're basically
we have a fan foolishly running on the field. That's the distraction. Which there's no need to show this, but
well, getting back. I mean, if they're going to play man, they're going to line up in man single safety. I mean, that's in 1980, and basically taunt you to say, look, you cannot. We're not afraid of. There's nothing we're afraid of. And in today's pass-happy league, if you think about it, you've got to get people. I mean, you've got to be able to threaten, and the Rams right now are not threatening at all. That they're going to line up, give you the look 10 seconds before you snap the ball. Single safety, man across the board. That reminds me of Ronnie Lott back there.
Yeah.
The way that they're doing it.
Hey, look, for San Francisco and Chip Kelly and his defense, a very youthful defense, but here's what they thought on their defense, and you and I talked about it. While they were winning all those games with Harbaugh, 11 or 12 games, making draft picks, and of course they had such really good players, Steve, that Navarro Bowman being one of them, that the young guys either didn't make the roster, didn't make contributions, but now you were seeing there are just enough veterans with some of the young talent that we're seeing. The names this year that we see on the Niners, oh, they played last year. Doesn't make them all good, but they're not all rookies or first-year starters. Do you buy into that?
I do, and I think that, you know, after Jim left and everything kind of fell off the table, you're exactly right. They started to rebuild with new players and new names that were not just players on the field that you're going to see throughout the year, but leadership in the locker room. That's what they had in spades 3-4 years ago, and that's what they need to get back.
Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and went nowhere, and the Rams will punt, we assume. 11 minutes to go. It can't go for this. So the 49,
it's not close.
Yeah.
Boomer, it's not close. Tavon Austin's out there on a hitch, and Case thinks he's going to go back outside. He stays put, and the ball's 5, 6, 7 yards outside of the receiver, not even close. On a big third down, if you're going to make a move on a 21-0 game, there's the time right there.
Hecker, a long, high punt. Curley signals for a fair catch. That's angled down. That's beautifully done by him. He at least has been pretty impressive, but it's bad when the only thing you have to talk about is the punter.
Rams have the best punter in the league. See him all, but I want to see him throw one now, because maybe he can come in and throw it.
He'll be a hero in L.A. So the 49ers, since their Super Bowl loss inside the 5 to the Ravens, 11-4-1, 12-4. Then, of course, 8-8, they missed out last year. Jim Tomsula in a tough situation for Jim, 5-11. Now here's Chip Kelly, and they're leading 21-0 in their first game. When you win, you have Pro Bowl players. They had great players. And, of course, the last couple of years, not so much in the Pro Bowl. And surprising that Gabbert is throwing and complete to Vance McDonald. Well, you catch a touchdown, I'm going to throw you another one. And so they go here. So look, most of their offensive players as well, to our point on defense. And that's the old warhorse at left tackle. Just as good as he was when he was a young buck. A first-round pick, that will be Joe Staley from Central Michigan in his 10th season. And that means something. I want to get to you because you understand that in minutes now. So it's second down. And the throw is to Curley, who's had a very impressive night, and it keeps the drive going. So Joe Staley was there when they were not very good, was a cornerstone of the line when they were very good, and now he's here on this revamped offensive line. Joe said, you know what one of my goals was? And we'll talk about it after this play because you're on it. A little delay here, but again, 49ers really don't care. They can milk the clock just standing there. Under 10 minutes now, they lead 21-0. Gabbert throwing long, and it's incomplete. Joe Staley's one of my goals. You know, what was it? To get on that 10-year wall. the 49ers have. I said, if you looked at your picture, not right, but they just kind of put it up again. I want to be a 10-year player. That means something to me.
Yeah,
you can respect
it's an elite
that, right?
wall. It really is. It means a lot. And I think Joe's done a great job with Trent Brown, the other tackle. Trent was overweight. It had work ethic issues, and Trent, he's really challenged him. And he said last week, Trent could be one of the great players, one of the great tackles in the league. He's really been a great mentor. So not only is Joe making a great difference in his own game, but he's making a difference with all the other players around him. That's leadership, right, Boom?
Carlos Hyde with a 7-yard pickup.
Trent Brown blocking down. Trent, he admits to 355, Boomer.
Yeah, he does.
If you admit to 355, that's code for 400, by the way.
Second-year man, and we do mean that.
He's one of the biggest men you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but Von Miller gave him props. I played against him. He was very impressive.
No, that's what I say. What a great addition to having Trent playing great football. Anthony Davis comes back from retirement, and Trent beats him out. And that says a lot.
Yes.
Because I think they expected Anthony Davis to come back and take his job and just wouldn't give it to him. So Anthony Davis moves to guard, and they, through this weekend had some fluctuation in his availability. And I think a lot of it says about Trent, what Trent's been able to do.
So again, the Niners with no huddle, with no rush. 10 seconds left on the play clock. It seems like an eternity for them. Gabbert throwing, and then it's very nice, complete to Garrett Selleck. And so the Ram defense, proud as it is, they're demoralized.
And I think Blaine Gabbert, we talked about Blaine Gabbert, I said he likes to, he looks and sees everything, but is a little tentative. Let him drill this ball in there. He can make all the throws. Those are the kind of throws that I think can kind of push him forward to take more chances, and I think the whole offense would be helped if he would be a little more aggressive.
Drone in the backfield. He has one of the touchdowns. Hyde, Drone, and McDonald have scored for the 49ers. And it's running right up the gut. Fockers and company and McDonald. Go anywhere, but they're really not that concerned. 21-0. Tick, 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 tick. 7:40 to go.
And everything about tonight for the 49ers is classic, well-coached team. Clean play, not a lot of mistakes, efficient in and out of the huddle, a lot of first downs, great defense, aggressive. Chip Kelly could stand there and say, it's one game. I get it. But Monday night.
Here's your quarterback running again, and a little extracurricular activity by Alec Ogletree, and some of the 49ers going to let him know about it.
Everything about this, Boomer, is undisciplined on the Rams. Everything is offensive. Everything that happens in these little chippy endeavors always end up being accelerated by the Rams tonight. And it just shows the undisciplined nature of how they've played. And if you watch this back and forth, you'll see that every time it was accelerated here as they went, now they get a penalty. Now they're going to try to figure it out, but I think I really do believe it's going to be on the final push by the Rams.
This may be Donald knocking the helmet of Pat.
I think it was Ogletree that made the tackle.
Yes, Ogletree. And
I think he kind of dragged his leg. If we see the replay, it looked like he kind of dragged his leg on top of Gabbert and Blaine. Football players know when you've done something else. It could be milliseconds late or off beat, and everyone on the field knows that something's wrong with it. Let's watch it closely here. Oh, nothing big there. Yeah, he's kind of scraped the cleat across the...
Personal foul. Defense number 99. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
See, it was like push up, no big deal, and then somebody has to do the chippy thing that gets the foul, and it's been the Rams all night tonight.
Defense number 99. After this is in the goal. Automatic first down. Number 99 has been disqualified.
Aaron Donald ejected, and there's your night for the Rams.
if you're going to be one of the great players, you have to handle adversity. See, I mean, foolish. What is he doing? Take him by the neck? I mean, this is one of the leaders. No one works harder. No one studies harder. Nobody is more disciplined about his preparation for football. It's Jerry Rice-like preparation. Everybody on the team talked about it yesterday, the respect they have for Aaron Donald. Aaron is a much better player than what you just saw. He has to be able to hold the frustration down because the image, the perception changes on moments like that.
The 2 penalties are 27 yards.
I mean,
not good. Really, that's not what we totally thought in his character, yeah? But you're right. You're one of the best. Can't let it.
Can't let it happen.
He's much better than you. We all know that. Meanwhile, Carlos Hyde is saying, where's the end zone? And he is just knocked down by Mo Alexander and William Hayes. The Niners will just tick. We're under 6.5.
You know, I reiterate, I think I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Chip Kelly believes that his biggest advantage in being fast, and obviously they've slowed it down here, is in the run game. What it does to defensive linemen. And boy, in spades, you saw it just now with Aaron Donald.
Throwing and incomplete in the end zone, but they're flagged. Patton was the intended receiver, and Sensabaugh was flagged in the end zone.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball being placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Cody Sensabaugh, you see he gets locked up, but once you do that, you got to know how to, you know, get off of the hold. Like, you can kind of get locked up briefly, but then move on. Don't leave anything left to be seen.
This touchdown is being served up on a platter, isn't it? I mean, we're down to the 1. Already up 21-0. He's alone. Hyde, not yet, say the Rams. Alexander and Brockers. Again, the Niners won't huddle, but they will just wander around kind of at the 5-yard line, won't they? It really is. I could see Phil Ford running the 4 corners right now with the way they're out there.
Wait, we have a huddle.
Well, no, they had nowhere to go.
Is huddling. I saw it in practice. They huddled in it. Like 15 guys put up their hands. Huddle. Like everyone's like, really? I mean, we're gonna actually practice this? We never huddle in our lives. Whole training camp.
Let's see if they're 1 for 1 on huddle calls for a touchdown. They are.
Let's keep huddling.
Let's keep huddling, and Carlos Hyde will score his 2nd touchdown of the game, and this is a blowout.
Talked about the offensive and defensive line for the 49ers coming back and getting, you know, real leadership. Trent Brown, what he's doing at tackle. Daniel Kilgore back from injury. Andrew Tiller replacing Anthony Davis at right guard, and Zane Beadles. I mean, this is an offensive line that's going to get better and better and better.
It goes down as an 11-play, 79-yard drive, about 36 of them from the Rams on penalties. It doesn't matter. Dawson's kick is up, and it is good. And so is this night if you root for the San Francisco 49ers. 28-0. On 2 touchdowns by number 28.
Gabbert, last year, tentative, careful. Obviously, starting out this year, look at blow the top off of the coverage, 3 guys. Vance McDonald's going to turn. Look at the window. perfect throw. Now the next one's even, to me, says more about Blaine Gabbert. Look outside, look inside. Finding the perfect spot in the window. That's an NFL window right there to put the ball in. Blaine Gabbert, I mean, for what he was and what he is this year, I mean, he really took a leadership role all throughout the OTAs. Everyone has said on the team that Blaine's taken control of the team. He acts like it is his team. The linemen and receivers all responded to it. And you could see that throughout the training camp. And now you see it in the first game of the year.
Benny Cunningham will try to bring it out. Why not? The gamble pays off, picks up an extra few yards. So it'll be at the 28, Dante Johnson on the tackle. 5 minutes to go here at the big bell bottom. 28-0. 28-0 San Francisco, and here it is in a nutshell. Rams have 133 yards. It's not a driving rainstorm. 102 penalty yards, Steve. In their 12 drives, they punted 10 times and been picked off twice. I mean,
31 net yards. 31.
It's hard to believe as Case Keenum goes back to pass, and here's a completion to Malcolm Brown. Moving back out of Texas. The game began with him completing his first 3 passes. Do you remember that?
No, I do, and then I saw the 2 really bad throws that followed up that really killed the drive.
5:01 to go as the Niners down. A few down moments for the San Francisco defense tonight. We'll be back. Back in San Francisco, maybe we'll get a Colin Kaepernick sighting on the field. Ryan Day, quarterback coach, talking to him. But 5 minutes to go. It's a 28-0 whitewash. Niners, Rams, and it's. Did you guys beat them by 17 straight times once upon a time? Is that what it was?
I think it was 17. I think it was 17.
Tim McDonald said it. I won't repeat it.
Famously.
Yes. And that's Malcolm Brown at this point and his band of renown running up the middle. And
well, look, the Rams are going to get better. It's obviously going to have to run Todd Gurley, and they got to get more efficient at it. And they've got to figure out a way for Tavon Austin to get involved. It's not just these little slip screens. They've got to get into the defense. They've got to threaten defenses. And if they don't, it puts too much pressure on their own defense.
And it's complete to Brian Quick. You know, here's just a number, and I'm just throwing it out here. We're prepared, but it certainly doesn't apply to the game. If you add up the college yards throwing, Case Keenum, Sean Mannion, the backup, Jared Goff, who was the 3rd quarterback and the #1 and eventually will be the quarterback here. It's for them to have no points, and I'm going to give you the number in a minute. And that ball had no shot at being completed with Dante Johnson knocking it away. In college, I know they throw the ball a lot now, but these 3 guys, over 45,000 yards throwing. Yet here, it's like throwing is, we can't do it.
A lot of production. That last throw, you can see nobody respects what the Rams are doing. The corners are squatting on everything. You try to throw the out, and it's not even close. I mean, NFL defenses are, it's like the mosaic lie for an eye, right? I mean, they are, in attack mode at all times. And if you don't threaten them, they just creep.
Keenum on 3rd down, Niners over him. And that'll be a first down to Kenny Britt. So they're getting some numbers now in, dare we say, garbage time. A 15-yard pickup. Keenum to Britt. Britt led the team in yards last year at 681. The bad news, that was the worst team leading, any of the 32 teams in leading yardage by a receiver. And that ball, that's a good-looking play to Brian Quick.
Really the 2 best throws that Case has had all night right there. Moving in the pocket, hanging in, nice crossing route. I mean, that's the thing that differentiates. If that happens, then Gurley's going to run, and Tavon can get involved. But that has to happen, those last 2 plays.
Ball is incomplete underneath to the Tight end Tyler Higbee, the rookie from Western Kentucky. You know, you've gone this far, right, as a defense. You want the goose
Yes,
egg, right?
absolutely, and especially on opening night. I mean, there's nothing. I can't think of anything that Chip Kelly's going to come in and resonate with the team to kind of get after him. Like, he might come up with something, but no one's going to believe it's like Chip. No one, you know, take that somebody else. We know we dominated. So, I mean, no, defenses know in the NFL, shutouts are very rare.
Keenan the pass in second down. Look out. He's plowed under by Eric Reed as he throws, so that is incomplete. Sports Center coming up next with Scott Van Pelt. Randy Moss talking about Antonio Brown. The Steelers, a lot of points in their win at Washington tonight. Bad beats, as Scott always does from college football. One big thing, Jack Del Rio, we went for two, we got it, we won.
Del Rio's had quite a weekend, didn't they?
Yes, he has. Third and 10 Rams. Keenum will throw, and that is juggled. And they rule it as a catch by Kenny Britt. Nope, it is not. Now it's incomplete. A lot of late signals. I'm sorry.
Third and 10. I know it's garbage time, but how about a route that can get a first down? How about something to give us a chance to get down the field and make something happen? I mean, Kenny Britt catches that. It's now 4th and 5.
Shutout pretty much riding on the line right here. Crowd knows it. Keenum has room to run, but not enough. And so the 49ers, and who else on the stop other than Navarro Bowman, right?
And here comes Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick is going to play, but the 49er defense, Navarro Bowman and company, they have made the play.
You know, from a football perspective, though, being around, especially getting ready for this game, if you're on the 49ers, Blaine Gabbert has won this team over. And then playing tonight, it just solidifies it. So I think that, you know, he put the time in. He leaned forward into the OTAs in the offseason. He interacted with the linemen, receivers, and it really paid off. And I think that through all of the ups and downs and the rigor of the 49ers in the offseason, Blaine's really done a nice job.
Colin Kaepernick is in, but the Niners will keep the ball on the ground, and that is Mike Davis, 4th-round pick a year ago from South Carolina. We're approaching the 2-minute warning, and here is Blaine Gabbert and the smiles on the 49ers sidelines. Look, no one's going to hold 170 yards. Oh, my goodness, but so what?
But it's a step forward. The aggression I love. I love the running. Don't forget the scrambles. I mean, that's what Chip Kelly wants, efficiency. You do that and you run the football, Chip Kelly's going to win a lot of games.
Gabbert, once upon a time, #1 pick at Jacksonville, #1 quarterback in San Francisco. Chris Berman, Steve Young, Lindsey Czarniak back in the Bay Area. 2-minute warning, 28-0 San Francisco. This win comes, and then look at the next two games, at Carolina and at Seattle before they're home to Dallas and Arizona. But the bottom line, the 49ers will leave here tied for first with the Seattle Seahawks, who barely won themselves last week, yesterday. Colin Kaepernick in to mop up. And Mike Davis is in to mop up.
I don't know if that's a lot of booze for, the fans love a lot of booze. I don't know if that's for Colin or what.
I don't know. Cheers and booze, and of course most people are in the cars already as we look around the stadium. So look, the 49ers, they said their offensive and defensive lines were improved. They said they all bought into what was going on here, and for one game, no one is going to say you were fibbing to us.
No, and and it's really Chip Kelly, right? That's the story.
We needed some. We had one of the worst offenses in the league. We need a big name to come in here and energize and do something with the 49ers and get us going in the right direction. And Chip Kelly shows up, and this is what week 1 looks like. It's a pretty good thing.
Right, just like everybody said, the biggest blowout of the week would be San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody had that. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they have their home opener, which they will light the torch at the Coliseum. Their first game in the Coliseum since December of '79. A Super Bowl year for them, by the way. They open against Seattle, then at Tampa, at Arizona, home to Buffalo, at Detroit, and then they keep flying to London before a bye. So this living out of a suitcase isn't coming to a quick close.
And, you're going to have to score some points in Arizona. All the Giants, Detroit. You can play great defense, but you've got to threaten offensively or people are going to eat you up.
San Francisco. 30-second timeout.
Timeout on the punt to get organized. We have 31 seconds left, and this is not what Jeff Fisher and the fans of Los Angeles had in mind. There will be better days. There got to be better days. They got some parts, but tonight they came in and kind of like Minnesota came in here last year, who ended up being a division-winning team. It's just they were lulled to sleep on the final game of week 1. Too late in the week, too late at night. I don't know what the story is, but there's a similarity in the two games that we've seen here. Although they are on West Coast time, I can't use that as an excuse. And this is Opinion's kick and a fair catch by Tavon Austin. So look, one game, Steve, as we've talked about, does not mean, it's all changed. But we started the broadcast by saying, what will be the signs for these two teams moving upward? Admittedly, to move up to the Seattle-Arizona territory will be very difficult. For San Francisco, we've seen little things and some big things, right?
Well, we said both of them, if they're going to compete, they're going to have to play ferocious defense and run the football. We thought the Rams were better equipped to do that coming out of the season, off the offseason. And clearly, week 1, ferocious defense, 49ers, great running game, 49ers. I mean, by far. So, I mean, in my mind, for the Rams and the fail affairs, I mean, this has been a tough opener for the Rams.
Well,
and how about Jeremy Curley? Been here 6 days. Probably player of the game.
Well, they have 1 penalty. They had 4 touchdowns. Not 4 score, 4 touchdowns.
It's as good as a game as the 49ers had in a while.
Very organized, very upbeat, and so the San Francisco 49ers beat the Los Angeles Rams by the count of 28-0. And so Lindsay Zarniak, we thank her. Always great being with her on the field. She did a great job for us. She's so pleasant to be around. Steve, always good seeing you.
What a pleasure to be with you. Let's do it again. And
you show up in the
every
Niners
8 years.
like a Super Bowl team. That's the story here at Santa Clara Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt is next. I'm Chris Berman. From all of us, a labor of love on our Monday night crew. So long, 28-0 Niners. Scott.